Hello, my name is Romeo, or Jonas to some people, and for my persuasive communication class, we were asked to create a persuasive campaign on a social issue, take a stance, and develop something to help spread our message. So I figured I'd make this video. Being gay, I immediately wanted to cover LGBT issues and rights for the gay community. But the more I thought about it, the more I felt like a hypocrite. Being a millennial, I was there for the ups and downs in the gay community within the last 15 years or so. I was 16 when Matthew Shepard was brutally murdered for being gay. I came out when I was 20, and a year later, Massachusetts became the first state to legalize gay marriage. But after living through all of those events, I was still apathetic toward the whole activist thing. I always thought, well, we'll get our rights when we do. It'll happen. Can one person really make a difference? A couple of my friends were upset. I wouldn't go to marches or rallies with them, and I realized I was ashamed. I was part of the problem growing up. I was one of the ones who made fun of the gay kids, spreading rumors, talking about them behind their backs with my friends, and I don't know, it was more of a mask. I was just jealous that they were able to be themselves when I wasn't. When I decided to finally come out of the closet, I was very, very lucky to have very supportive friends and family members, but I just kind of kept to myself, not really wanting my sexual orientation to be the defining trait about me. But as I got older, I realized that being gay is a big part of who I am, and it's time that I rally and take a stand. Though the gay community has had some major successes the past few years, it's still a long journey ahead. Marriage equality, for example. There are still millions of gay Americans who don't have the right to marry, just like heterosexual couples can, and that needs to change. Also, bullying has become a major issue today, especially among LGBT American teenagers. According to the National Youth Association, 9 out of 10 gay students have experienced harassment at school, and LGBT children are 4 times more likely to attempt suicide than heterosexual children, and that needs to stop. I've been fortunate enough to have met some great people in my life, and it's because of them that I became stronger and more confident as a person, and they were kind enough to let me share some of their stories with you.
Marriage equality just means that I get to tell people that I'm married to this man, or I'm married to this girl, whatever your preference is. It shouldn't really matter. It should really just be that bond, that relationship that you have with that person.
In my personal opinion, coming from a state where marriage equality was the first state to offer it, being from Boston, Massachusetts, and seeing the positive effect that it had on couples from so many different points of view, like from end-of-life care to just basic health benefit equality as well too. I feel it's just really critical for us to be able to take care of the people that we love.
I think historically, marriage has been a decision made within the context of somebody's religious beliefs, their family's personal decisions made by themselves. And I think ultimately the best legislative and public policy solution would be one that actually gives marriage rights to nobody. And if there has to be some sort of qualification of a relationship, civil unions for couples regardless of their sexual orientation should probably be the best way to go. That said, the situation that we found ourselves in now is sort of a separate drinking fountain situation. So pragmatically, the best step would be marriage equality legislation, because it's going to be a lot easier to pass laws, to have voter referendums be successful to bring about marriage equality than completely change the way governments view relationships.
I think marriage equality should be legal in all the states. As children, we're taught you should treat people the way you want to be treated. And with, the laws right now, people aren't treated fairly or equally. So marriage equality, any type of person, whoever you love, you should be able to marry.
I think some states are saying, like, okay, we'll give you every single right, but the right to marry, and it's like, okay, you're gonna give it every single freedom, except you're gonna take away that milestone.
But at the end of the day, it's about love. It's not really about gender.
I was bullied a lot. I was bullied not because of my sexual preference, but because I was overweight.
Yeah, I mean, I was bullied when I was a little kid. Having red hair, that was just one thing that could single you out.
Growing up, I was the fat kid, and that certainly, whether it was in practice or in reality, brought a degree of ostracization to schooling.
Not so much physically, but definitely had a lot of comments made in the hallways.
All throughout elementary school, into middle school, and then when I got into high school, I decided that it was going to stop.
It's rough, but like you grow thick skin. It's good to have someone there for you. Thankfully, I have a big brother who's really big, so many people didn't mess with me because my brother and I were only a grade apart, so they didn't want to mess with my brother. Not everyone will have a big brother or a friend there to stand up for them.
When I was younger, I really wish that there could have been someone that would have stuck up for me.
Kids have feelings. They're still growing. And because we are now just realizing that bullying is an issue and that we want to nurture the idea that it matters how a child interacts at school.
As far as physical bullying, it's smart public policy, I would say, to make sure that there are real, tangible consequences for any act of violence or initiation of force against an individual in school, in the community, in everyday public life.
I think anti-bullying laws will definitely actually enforce safety, not just on the person that's being bullied, but even the person bullying themselves.
So by having these laws, it really helps protect people that normally the majority might not feel compassionate about to vote for. And it's not just about marriage equality, but it's really about protecting all of our citizens so that we all have equal rights, whether it has to do with race, religion, sexual orientation, gender identity issue. It's really about equality for all.
We all have the right to be protected, and I think we need anti-bullying laws because without it, things can really get out of hand and nasty things, and that just can't happen.
It gets better. I'm sure everybody says that, but it does get better.
Hang in there. Right now it may be really terrible, but you'll find the people out there that love you for who you are.
That other people's opinions really don't matter that much about you.
Well, it's important for you to know you're not alone. It's important for you to know that you're not the first to experience this, but it's just that things will change.
Well, I would say one thing to remember when you're feeling down, out, or like you don't belong is to remember that everybody, including yourself, has something to be proud of, something that somebody is jealous of.
And it does get better. People truly do get to know you and love you. And at the end of the day, people will start to realize that, oh, this idea of what a gay person is, or what a bisexual person is, or what a transgender person is, when they actually get to meet us and see who we are as a person, they realize that we really are the same.
At the end of the day, I think the most important thing is just taking care of yourself and just learning to love yourself. That's going to be the hardest part about the entire thing, is just stepping back and loving yourself. Once you get that down, everything else is going to be really easy.
Hang in there, girl. You're gonna make it, I promise you, and you're gonna be laughing down all those, can I say dumb hoes?
I'm not expecting this video to go viral. There are countless of other equality videos on YouTube right now, and that's awesome seeing that. But as I was interviewing my friends and as I was doing this project the past few weeks, I just thought, if this video just helps one person feel comfortable being who they are, or helps one person take a stand and fight for marriage equality, then awesome. Thank you to all of you for being brave when I wasn't.